Hello and welcome back to Plannercraft. I'm Natalie and today we're going to be doing the second part of our print and cut project. So I've printed out my sheets ready to go. So I have 2 copies like so, and I'm going to start by putting one onto my mat and we're going to scan it into the machine so that Ian can have a copy. So I'm using an Artisticks mat. And if you have any questions on the way through, don't hesitate to ask. I'm just going to put one on my mat for now. Yep, go for it while I'm sticking.
You say hello to your mum.
Hi Mum.
And we have Linda, Tracy, Sally and Deb. Good morning. And Elsie, good morning.
Ooh.
Sandra, it is a chilly morning, yeah. We had snow overnight, which is
Novel.
novel. It's all clearing now. Morning, Carol.
Day. Okay, so let's wake up the scan and cut because it's gone to sleep.
Do you want me to put it on to
Yes, please.
close up or?
Yes, please. Okay.
Good morning, Carol.
So I'm going to load my mat.
After Carol's room. First time.
Yay. What should I do?
Based in Australia.
Let's go to direct cut. And I'm going to go to our canvas button so that I can send this image across to Ian. Hang on.
You got to scan it first, don't you? So
Yeah, I've got to scan it first. You're saying hang on, not yet.
Elsie had snow overnight too.
Okay. So that's going to go to finish transferring, or we can go OK. And then it's going to happily sit on that screen until you are ready to bring it back to your machine. So across to you, Ian. Not yet.
Okay,
You're in the wrong one there. You want canvas.
There we go. Silly machine. So I'm going to go up to
File.
File and Import from the cutting machine.
Scanned image.
Scan the image. Ta-da!
And you're going to want to drag that down to the back so that you can see your file.
Ding, 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 ding. Now, please bear with me because I can't see comments at the moment. So if there are any comments going, I can't see them because it's on the back.
Right, so you want to lock that image now.
Okay, my image is looked.
And everything else you're going to select. And you're going to group it. And then you can move it so that your registration marks line up with the registration marks on your print. And you can zoom in to check.
They never quite line up on all of them.
No, because you can never be certain of putting your print smack on straight, and likewise your printer is usually off slightly.
I have 3 out of 4, so that's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. So long as you can check round your edges and you can see it's close enough. That's why when we brought those edges in a little bit, you're buying yourself a little bit of leeway.
Yeah. So do you want to tell people what we've done to the file?
Okay, so at the moment you can see that inside that main group that Ian's just created, there are 3 groups. So one of those is the registration group. One is the text, which is the one that Ian's just unravelled. And
So
the
let's
one
label
on,
that as text, 'cause then
yep,
I know what it is.
there we go.
So my next one.
Is the Stamens.
How do I spell that?
Stamen.
I'd have had a Y in that. That one must be registration then.
Yeah. Process of elimination.
You know, type computer.
So all three of those groups you're going to want to set to draw. And then finally you have your cut line, which is currently labelled shape.
Set to draw. That one's set to draw. So the way I'm checking if I set to draw up here, we can see that it says draw, so we know that's set to draw. If we go down to this one, it changes to cut, which is cool, 'cause that's the outside one. So do you want me to send just the cut there? Do you want me to send
Okay, so
all of it?
if you can send back the... Let's go for the cut layer for starters, and we'll do the cut first.
Turn off that one. So I'm going to turn off everything I don't want to send. Do you want the registration as well?
No,
No.
no, don't need it now that you've done that bit.
So then we're going to transfer that to Natalie. So that's file and export. File and transfer, sorry. We're going to go OK, it's just telling us that things that are hidden. Transfer via the internet. And OK.
Okay.
That's back to your close cut.
So then we're going to press this little button down here, which says that we're going to be pulling information down off the cloud and not onto our machine. And we can see that we have our cut line. We can add an offset if we want to, so if you're not quite happy with where your cut line is, you can adjust it if you need to. But to be honest, it's ready to go. So we can just go OK. You're going to go to cut. And just because this paper's a little bit thinner, I'm going to go for my vinyl blade. And we can go start. Hi Faye, if you haven't already said hi.
I did.
And Tracy's commenting as Plannercraft.
Yeah. Probably on the iPad then.
Yeah. It was a very good video, wasn't it, Sandra?
It was. You didn't apologise for not doing your votes, Ken.
Oh, no I didn't, did I? So, obviously we've had a bit of a change of schedule today because I was scheduled to do a Your Votes count. And I just wanted to finish off this project rather than leaving it hanging over the weekend. So what we're going to do is, we had planned to have Monday off, hadn't we? So we're going to do Your Votes count on Monday. Okay. So I'm just going to gently peel off a corner and just check that that's cut. As long as you're happy, just place it back down because we're going to want to do our foiling next. So I'm going to go OK. I'm going to go home. OK. Now, if you want to go back to you in a minute, Ian, just so we can work out how big a foil I need.
Let's go back to display so you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, you're doing text next.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So we'll turn on our text and I'll turn off that one. So you need it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide by 2 deep.
Okay. So 5 wide by 2 deep.
Easily.
Easily, easily, easily. I'm just working out which way would be better to fit.
That way.
That way, I think.
Yeah, just trim off a little bit off the end so you don't go on too much.
Yeah. I could do with me cutter, couldn't I? Let's do it with scissors. So, 5 wide.
Do you want me to send that for you?
Yes, please.
So I'm going to send that across to Nat again. So Commander needs the shortcut for export. I'm going to press OK. Or Control and E, depending on using a PC. And we press OK. And then we'll swap to overhead so you can see what Natalie's doing with the foil, hopefully.
Okay.
You
So
got some
first of all,
YouTube,
I'm going to retrieve my data so that I can see where I'm heading. It's coming down off the internet. And I'm going to do a background scan. So this is a good way of giving yourself a little reference to work to.
So the colour foil, we're using the rose gold because we're still waiting for our new foils to arrive.
They're on their way.
Well,
Hopefully.
reply from it, so then Matt gives me a call.
So I'm just going to take my blade out because we don't need that anymore. At least not on this piece. So let's pop our scan up a little bit darker so I can see it. So our text finishes before we get to this petal just here. So that should be okay. Maybe move it over just a touch because it's away from this left hand edge. And let's use some tape to take that down. Shall I use some washi?
See?
Go on, I'll use some washi instead of using me.
Excuse me.
I wasn't quite thinking the new washi there, but
Do you want one of the others?
yeah, something a bit wider would be good.
Okay.
That one. So, okay, another one. That's the end of that one. So I'm just going to take down this edge here.
Thank you. For the competition, does the page have to be a scallop tape? No.
No, it can
Anything
be
you want. It's your cover, you can have it any way you want to. Which foil could you use?
I am going to go for the bold for this one, I think. If you want to start it preheating for me.
Bold's the dark blue one.
Okay. So now that we've taped our foil in place, I'm going to do another background scan to make sure that we miss our washi tape.
I'll just change it. That should show the camera.
Okay, so you can see it's a little bit closer on that edge just there. So you have two options at this point. Number one, you can move your foil, or number two, you can just move your text. So I think on this occasion I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to move my text over. So if we go to move,
Hang on, let me change camera.
okay, I'm just going to move it away from that edge. Otherwise, if it tries to go over the washi tape, it doesn't transfer the foil underneath. So out. I'm just going to make sure it's well away from that edge. Okay. 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 So I'm going to go to draw. And
okay, I was asked, will ordinary low tack tape work, or is it too sticky? Ordinary low tack should work, shouldn't it?
yep, yep.
Talk for a minute while it's warming up.
Okay, is it not there yet?
No.
So I've just set my pressure to -2 because I'm going to be using the bold foil quill.
Let's say 10 minutes.
Yes, that says 10 minutes, and I know why. Good job you spotted that, dear. Well done. It is because if we're going to edit, object edit, I bet you it is trying to do a fill, and I don't want it to do a fill. There we go. Turn the fill off. Probably because I was doing filling the other day. So there we go. So now when we go to draw, 3 minutes, that's more like it. Our speed is 1 because you want to give your foil quill plenty of time to heat that foil as it's going through your drawing.
I have the plug USB to. I never thought to use it. Always use power bank. Yeah, we always use a power bank, but yeah, we have next to us, next to the machine now, we have a. We could plug it into there.
Yeah.
And we still use the power bank. Nice. That's nice and warm now.
Because I checked before I put it up, didn't I, that it could actually reach it if we decided to do it that way.
Swap back to overhead so people can see.
Okay. So the foil quill has one of Carl's adapters on it because my official one got wedged on the standard. But I have to say I actually prefer this adapter. It seems to work much better than the DX anyway. Okay. Let's move the big sharp implement out of the way. So now we can go to start. It's going to come up with attach appropriate holder. That's just because we've got Carl's adapter in there rather than the normal one. Just go OK and start again. And oh, I knew it was going to do that. Just because. There we go. OK. And start. There you go.
Sandra resource for Carl's adapter is much easier to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like we need another camera.
Well, you need to transition that one downwards, don't you? So do you want to flick to close cam while we transition that one down there?
I don't know, it's not too bad though. You can see most of the map.
You can see most of the map, but you can't see the machine, dear. Unless you want me to move that one. But that one's in...
No, that one's just in the right place, isn't it? Do you want me to do it quick and I'll just move it?
Go on then.
Let's just switch.
So...
You're a DJ now again, but hey.
Yeah. So with the 3 foil quills, if you're just starting out with them, we do advise that you start with the bold one first, then the standard, and finally the fine. Because if you start with the fine, you can get quite disheartened quite quickly if it doesn't go right. There's much finer point where it just gets that perfect foiling, whereas your bold tip's much more forgiving. Okay. first things first, let's lift out our foil quill. And what I was going to do very quickly is I was just going to show the difference between the tips.
Put them away.
Oh, okay. Are you going to leave it heating, or do you want to let it cool down a bit?
You can stay heating if you want.
Okay.
It won't hurt because it'll keep it, just hang it off the edge.
Okay, now for the big reveal. So let's move that down a little bit. CNC. So with your washi tape you can do 2 or 3 different pieces of foil, or you can leave it stuck to it if there's lots of wasted space on your foil. So there we go. There we go. So I'm going to leave that one attached to my foil, and I can use that for another project. So we have the You Make My Heart Bloom. So next we need to do the little stamens, and for that I'm going to use the gunmetal we said, didn't we?
Well, I sent you the file. Morning, Beatrice.
Yeah. So if you pass me the foil while you're sending the file, and I'll
yeah. So
do a
I'm just
lecture.
going to flick back to display. Well, what I do with that, pass that over to the boss.
Thank you. That's good.
Next we're putting on the Stamens. So turn on the Stamens. Turn off the text.
Naughty washi tape.
You should only down the bottom corner.
You pack it in, a lot of you, honestly. There we go.
So you don't need too much, do you?
How much do I need then?
We need it, let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 wide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deep.
Okay, so if I do that by 6. This is not really an accurate way of measuring it, but okay.
So to give Natalie her measurements, all I'm doing is I'm counting the squares across and down. So going across here, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down. Again, counting just down the squares on the screen. It's been set up to inches by inches, so I know that each one of those squares is 1.
Okay, so I'm nearly there with my cutting. I'm just going to...
So for this we're using the gunmetal, or the charcoal as it's been rebranded. So I'm just going to send that to Nat, and then go back to the overhead.
Okay. So I now have my foil. I'm going to go OK on the scan and cut, and go back home again. Going to go to retrieve data. Okay. Now, as we have moved on from this bit, we can actually turn that scan off so we can see what we're doing. Okay. So we're going, and I've done quite a big piece of foil, so I can actually pretty much just place it there and know that I'm in the right place. So let's pop some tape along here. Thank you. Might need a little bit of a longer piece than that. Doo-doo-doo. Now with this top edge, I'm just going to de-tack it a little. So when we're placing our tape, we want to make sure that we're keeping this foil as taut as possible. And for this bit down the side, I won't de-tack because that's going straight onto our mat. Like so. And because I'm doing because I'm not doing text this time, I won't bother doing a background scan because if it misses anything, it's not that important with these pieces. Okay, so let's pop in our foil quill again. So in between doing elements like this, you do want to make sure that you do take the quill out of your machine to prevent damage either to the machine or the mat. Okay, and draw, same settings as last time, and start. Okay, start. Can you see that okay, or do you want to?
It's not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. If you put a delay on there, don't forget to. You're looking at that thinking it hasn't moved, and it has.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So I'm just going to unplug that. Let in, hold that for a minute or so. And let's take off our tape. There we go. I'm just going to pop that onto my desk because there's still loads of foil on that we can use. So you can see that we've added in our little stamens now. So that finishes that one. So we can take off the waste and get rid. And let's get my metal spatula, which still has the ability to hide even in an ultra organised craft room. There we go. So you can see you get a real pop of that foil. So at this point you might decide that you just want to mount it onto a coloured card blank, or if you want to do a matte and layer for it, that's fine too. But I'm actually going to turn this into a card in itself. So I have another one printed that is going to become the inside of our card.
Which bit do you need me to?
Just the cut line, but not yet, because I've got to send this to you so that you can line it up. Okay, so I'm going to pop the next piece on the mat. home. Okay, scan, direct cut, and back to cloud, and start. And it's going to say about the scanner lever because we've just done some drawing. So just flick that back down and start. It's a really good way of starting to use your paintings and doodles in different ways. Oh yes, it's notes. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll be doing lots of notes and workshops over the sort of next few weeks between the different software. So that's over to you then, Ian.
Back to me, is it? Okay, so that one, no, that one, yay, and display. So now, can I delete this one then?
Yep, you can delete that one.
So unlock it, we can show it if I want to, and we can just press delete. There we are. Let's turn on all our other layers so we can see what we're bringing in. Then we're going to go File again, Import from your machine, Scanned image.
You forgot your cut layer.
No, important bit.
Yeah, the important one. So you're going to send that image down to the bottom again.
So we're going to pick it up from the top, drag it down to the bottom. So you can see, now we can see our
Just get careful because that's still in the group, Ian. So you need to drag it out of that group. No, you just dragged it back. Arrange. Centre back. There you go.
okay.
And lock it.
Yeah.
Important that it's really important that you do lock that image layer so you don't move it by accident.
So this time I might do a little bit of a rotate on this because it's quite a way off.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go into my edit.
Printer was obviously having off day.
And rotate here.
Yep, just go. One should be enough, to be honest. So even 1 degree makes a really big difference when you're rotating something like this. So you've gone too far now. You're forgetting computer be slow. That's it. I'd go for it there, Ian. Everything looks like it's lining up.
That looks good. So there we go. That's just back to my layers. And we can turn off that one, and that one. And then we're just going to send that back to that. Press OK. And OK. And that's back to close game for you.
Okay. So again, we can pull that back down off the internet. And there's our cut line. We'll go OK. We're going to go to cut.
This is nodes are the best part.
Oh yes. The most essential part. Without nodes there would be nothing. So I've popped my vinyl blade back in because it's still the same paper. And we can go start and just let it cut it out. So do take part in the competition. If you haven't heard what the competition is this month, don't hesitate to say and we'll talk you through it.
We also have the start of our workshop starting tomorrow. We have the introduction to CM models tomorrow, and then the introduction to DX models on Sunday. Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to get my metal spatula so I can get underneath. There we go. And we have our second panel. And at that we can go take our blade out of our machine, pop this cap back on. We'll go okay on that. We can unload our mat. Go home. Okay to delete everything. And that's that one done for today. And let's get our card front back in. Okay. And hopefully that should be a little bit higher. Is that okay there? And can you just check for me? Oh, it's looking okay.
That's looking good. So let's swap that back to just overhead and talk because we don't need the
Scan and cut anymore.
scan and cut screen.
Okay, so next I need my hoogie board and we're going to do a score line down this left hand edge.
Just pop that down so it doesn't fall over.
There we go, pop it that side for now. So I'm going to line it up into this corner. And let's get my bone folder. And I'm going to go and give myself about a centimetre strip. Like so. So that's going to become my glue strip. So I'm going to just trim these two edges here so that they give a nice neat finish when we do that. And that's it for hoogie today. Nice simple one, isn't it? It's not very like me to do simple, is it?
Tomorrow,
Yeah. So tomorrow is CM and we'll be going right back to basics. So how to calibrate it, how to look after it, how to do cuts with it, how to draw with it, how to foil with it. Okay, so we have our card front. Now if you're going to do this into your technique manual, at this point you can stick it in like so and punch your holes for your binding into this piece. If you're going to do it as a card, you can just trim it and then leave it as a card. The choice is yours. So I'm going to actually put that ready to go into the technique manual, I think. Yeah? So I'm going to grab myself a little bit of tape. So I'm just going to use some red liner tape.
Sounds just absolutely beautiful.
Like so. I'm just going to get my non-stick scissors to trim this, otherwise I end up gunking up my big scissors too much.
Oh dear.
What's that?
Sally had a power cut.
Oh.
She's going to have to watch it back.
That's no good, is it?
No.
One of those moments where you appreciate putting a SIM card in, like your iPad or something. Because then at least it can carry on. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that back there. And same with this one here. Now I'm going to put onto that a few drops of glue. And that's just going to give me a little bit of wiggle room. While we line everything up, because you want to make sure that you get your alignment right. Especially when you spent all this time and trouble getting this nice, neat cut edge. So you can line it up at that end first. Tuck that edge under, and then we'll press it down. And then we can press that down, and we have a card. So what I would do next is, if you're going to send this as a card, do a nice neat decorative border that you could do either on your machine or die cut, just to put over and hide this edge so that it's all nice and neatly finished. And there you go, ta-da! Oh, that's not bad timing again either, is it? So, any questions before we go? So if you're going to make this into the card, make sure you do that trim before you do your sticking, else you risk messing your nice neat fold that you've got just on that edge there. Yep, the time does go fast. And we're trying to be good and stick to an hour max, aren't we? So.
That's a lovely card. So those that have booked on to the courses, we will see you over the weekend.
If you haven't booked yet,
there's still time. You can still book on.
Yeah, up until probably about 5 o'clock tonight, should we say, as a cut off to get people in?
Yeah, in case there's any problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I know we've had issues with getting a few people into the right groups and things like that, so.
Yeah. Courses are still available on Buy Me a Coffee. So
they're £10 each.
Yeah. So what I will do at 5 o'clock, or just after, I will take them off Buy Me a Coffee, so they're not there anymore. So after that point, we won't be able to get more for consent.
No. No. But that's just for this weekend.
Yeah, it's only for this weekend's workshop. So
the others will still be available up until 5 o'clock on the Friday before them.
Yeah.
So, I hope that makes sense. There you go. Put the link up. Tracy's doing my job. It is buymeacoffe.com/plannercraft. Go to the...
extras.
Does that work, does it? When I tried it, it wouldn't work. So /extras. If that doesn't work, it's the extras tab. And if you go down to see more, you should be able to see all the workshops then. And I'll hold this while Ian types. So, Beatrice, we'll see you Sunday. At the moment, we've only got one person booked on for the CM workshop. So, it's going to be nice low numbers. If you do want to have a lot of extra help with your CM, it would be a good one to sign up to. Yay! So, take care, and we will see you either tomorrow if you're on the CM course, Sunday if you're on the DX one, or Monday for everybody else. So bye for now. Bye!